Good evening, ma'am. I hope I am audible.
Yeah, very well.
We shall wait for some time as I think more and more viewers will be joining in. For all the viewers, in the meanwhile, please keep everything on mute. Your audio, your video. Of course, that is done automatically, and you will be given your chance to speak as and when uh, the instructions will follow. I hope all our viewers are all safe in their houses and are taking care of themselves. We'll wait for a minute as we shall begin our today's session. So Bhushanji, with your permission, can we begin? It's 5:01.
Yeah, would you like to wait for another 5 minutes?
We can. I mean, up to you. We can. Perfect.
Yeah, let's
Perfect.
wait and then we can start.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Sure.
Good evening, Jaideep ji. You are mute. I'm sorry, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. Good evening.
Pradeep ji is also here. Pooja ji is also here. Good evening.
Wait for 2-3 minutes. People are joining.
Yes, people are joining in. I think it's because it's the middle of the week, nearing our second month of lockdown. Should take them some time. So Bhushan ji has requested me to please wait for 4-5 minutes, and
Okay.
thereafter, I'm sure it's going to be a very jam-packed session at the end of the session. So we'll wait for some time.
Good evening, Sudhaji.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Fine, fine, fine. I am
Good.
going to learn a lot of things from you today. So, what is
Yeah,
international taxation?
yeah, it is interesting. It has gone very interesting because of this COVID time. So what we are going to
Yes,
cover
yes,
is
yes.
the changes that has happened because of this COVID times and otherwise the relevant ones.
Great,
Yeah.
So it
great, great.
goes for the same thing for me. So I'll be moderating less. I'll be listening more. That's great. So I think we'll wait for a minute. It's going to be 5:05, and start off.
Very interesting topic,
I think it's going to
particularly
be a very
for
radical
CF
one
Rat
too.
and it.
And I don't know. My novice mind is saying that there's going to be radical changes, and who better to know from an expert than from an expert? Sudhaji, just let me know whenever you're comfortable. We can commence.
Sure.
I hope you're having a very seamless interface because all the relative permissions have already been given.
Yeah, sure. So we can start
We can start.
our
Okay.
yeah,
Thank,
sure.
thank you so much, Sudhaji.
People will keep on joining.
Yeah, I think members do have a habit of joining in mid-session, and of course nobody would want to miss. So thank you everybody for joining in. The viewers, this is the Corporate Legal. I am your host and moderator for the day, Rajdeep Lahiri. Today we're going to learn a very critical and interesting topic, of course, in the light of the recent developments, amendments, changes, deletions that are happening in the COVID era, and what's going to happen in the post-COVID era. International transactions, things that you should know, what's happening in the recent developments. We have with us an internationally reclaimed author, speaker, and an expert in this domain, Sudha Bhushanji, who's a qualified chartered accountant, company secretary, insolvency resolution professional, registered valuer. That's just a lot. Thank you, Bhushanji, for gracing this platform. And of course, a little bit more about Bhushanji. She's a very reclaimed author. She's been writing a lot of books on international transactions, due diligence under FEMA, other practical aspects of foreign direct investment in India. So I think she's the go-to person for a topic, a niche topic like international transactions. Thank you, Sudhaji. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Rajdeep ji, for a wonderful introduction. My privilege for the invitation. Thank you, Corporate Legal, for inviting me to be here. And I hope everyone is safe and not going out too much. It's better. So our topic for today is recent development in the area of tax, international tax, and FEMA. Now, recent development. When we say recent, we always think what is recent. A day prior to today is recent. We are in the field that even the day before is recent. 1 month is like a history for us. But then I have taken out, it's not, the subject is very vast, very vast. But what I have done, I have taken down few of the important changes that has happened in this area of international tax and FEMA, more because of the COVID-19 and more because of COVID-19. I can see here that what I can see from the profile that more of advocates are there. I can presume that Rajdeep ji, that more of advocates have joined the
Yes,
seminar,
yes.
the
We
webinar.
have a habit of
Yeah.
going wherever there is talk of money going on. So,
Yeah. No, very good to see that. Very good to
perfect.
see. So what I'm going to do is to also keep taking you to the wherever possible. I'm going to describe in the maximum detail. And if it is not understood and you want to understand it better, kindly be free to write the question in the chat box, and we can take up all at the end. Or if the subject is going very heavy, then would request that you can SMS, you can WhatsApp to Mr. Rajdeep, and we'll try to explain it a bit more, because it's a bit heavy subject. It's international tax. It's little different from our usual taxation, our usual law that we study. But definitely, it's a very interesting subject to learn. And let us see. I have a PPT, small PPT for the webinar today. So we'll be sharing that with you. Yeah, everyone is able to view. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's good.
Very nice. Just just 1 minute. No, it's not changing for me. Okay. Just I'm so sorry. Give me 1 minute.
No problem, ma'am.
Something has just only 1 minute. I'll
No
take.
problem. Take your time.
Once it's done. Why it is not coming? I am so sorry, everyone. I should be able to get there.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
I am not able. Sorry.
Is there anything which I can do to help you?
I don't know. I am not able to share. Move my. Okay. Can everyone
Yes.
see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I am very sorry for wasting the time.
No problem. No
So what are we going to discuss is the impact of COVID-19, developments in the tax regime in the world over, and changes in India, tax equalization levy. In tax, we are going to see equalization levy and FEMA, the changes in FDI policy and the other changes that has happened. So let's talk about the changes in international tax that might impact because of COVID. Now, what's going to happen because of COVID when it comes to the international taxation? Now, there is lot happening, right? There is lot that is happening in the sense that you are able to view my PPT, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this COVID-19, if you see, it has forced the government to take unprecedented measures such as restricting travel, implementing strict quarantine requirement. In this difficult context, most countries are putting stimulus package in place and including measures to support employment. For example, taking on burden of unpaid salaries on behalf of companies, and there are so many others allowing employees to work from home, and so many other things are happening. Now, as far as the uh, impact on taxation is concerned, when we talk about international tax, there are two things which are very, very important from the point of view of company as well as from the point of view of the individual. When we, from the point of view of company, there may be there is a concept of permanent establishment, and which gets established where when a company is establishing a permanent establishment in other country, the profit of that company becomes taxable in that country. If a company is having permanent establishment in other country, the profit of that country company becomes taxable in the other company. Now, because of this COVID-19, and there are few types, there are few ways in which the permanent establishment, there are few ways in which the permanent establishment gets formed. What are these ways? There is a type of permanent establishment which is which is fixed permanent establishment. Fixed base PE. This is called fixed base PE. There is a type of permanent establishment which is agency PE. There is a type of permanent establishment which is construction PE. Now, what is happening here is that how does a fixed base PE get established? A fixed base PE gets established if a particular person, if a particular company has a permanent place of work, permanent fixed place of work in another country. For example, if you have a branch, if you have a warehouse, if you have a branch office, if there is a particular dealer who is working exclusively for you, in that case, that permanent establishment gets established through fixed base PE. Now, my question to you is, Rajdeep ji,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
I would suggest that let's make the session little bit interactive. If you can unmute everyone, I'll have an interactive session so that we know
Absolutely,
if there.
absolutely. No, exactly. So I've made that hygiene instruction before also. So if anybody has any queries, or if anybody wants to interact directly, so please unmute yourself. You have that option. I do not have any fixed control with me, so you can unmute yourself, and we can have a very live interaction with Sudhaji on any point.
Yeah, so we were talking about the three ways in which we are particularly talking in this, how the international taxation regime is getting changed in the COVID times, and how the companies are exposed because of this particular condition of COVID-19. Now, what we understood, what we just briefly I mentioned that a profit of a company in other company, a profit of a company in other country gets taxable in that other country if there is a permanent establishment. Now this permanent establishment, as you can see here, can be formed by various ways. There is a fixed base PE, there is an agency PE, there may be a construction PE. We were talking about this home office, we were talking about the fixed base PE, wherein now in this situation, now in the COVID times, what might happen that a person who is working for a non-resident employer, a person who is working for a non-resident employer may be construed as the fixed base PE for that person. Or in case of an agency PE, now a person, the question may also arise in case of an agency PE, whether so in case in case of agency PE, an employee or agent activity in the state, in the other state, may be construed as if he is concluding few of the contracts, in that case it will be construed as the agency PE. Now construction PE is another, if the construction site is going more than 12 months, or as per OECD model, or as per UN model, if it is going for 6 months, more than 6 months, in that case it can be construed as the construction PE. We all know the implication that if the PE gets formed, in case then the profit of the company gets taxable in that other country. But because of this COVID situation, what would have arisen? The PE as such, if you see, the permanent establishment must have certain degree of permanency and be at the disposal of the enterprise in order for that place to be considered as fixed place of business through which the business of the enterprise is conducted. Now my question to you is that because of the COVID, now if I am an employee of a non-resident employer, or because of will my home, I am working from home, will my home can be considered as a fixed base PE for my non-resident employer? If I am working for my non-resident employer, if I'm working for my non-resident employer, in that case, will it be construed as the fixed base PE for my non-resident employer?
Yes, it will be.
Okay, how? Very nice. I am happy to receive. Yes, how?
Because your P is the business place from where you are doing permanent or continuous place of business. So over here, although your home is not your permanent place of business, but it is your continuous place of business over which your enterprise has control.
No, my enterprise doesn't have the control over my house. And also because, no, see.
Your enterprise has control.
Enterprise doesn't have, how, because of this COVID-19, if I am working from my home, now my enterprise, first of all, doesn't have the control over my home. Also, this condition is not permanent. So that the home will not be considered as a fixed base PE.
Okay.
Okay, it will not be. In the usual situation, it will not be. But there may be a particular cases wherein it can be debated that it is forming the fixed base PE. In those cases,
basically this is an extraordinary circumstance in which the normal business activity is hampered. Okay. COVID is an extraordinary circumstance in which normal business activity is hampered. That is why your work from home will be considered as a permanent PE in COVID scenario only?
It will not be considered. It will not be considered because it is not permanent and it is situational. So it will not be considered. So that it will not be considered because there is no degree of permanency and it is not at the disposal of the employer. So during the COVID-19 crisis particularly, if an individual who stay at home to work remotely are typically doing so as to result, it is because of the government directives. It is not, and it is a force majeure, and it is not an enterprise requirement. Therefore, considering the extraordinary nature of COVID-19 crisis, it shall not be considered as it will not create the fee for the business. However, this PE creation is subjective to lot many facts, but because the employee is working from home, it will not be considered in the COVID-19, and it should not be. Now, the second, Pooja, we can discuss it later why I am stopping you, because otherwise it will confuse everyone. So that's why we can always discuss it later. In fact, I would like to share this PPT with everyone. What I would suggest that on WhatsApp so that I can share this PPT. You can take my number. Now it is 9769. It is 9769 033 172. So I'll share the PPT and we can enter into detailed discussion.
Absolutely. So that can also be done by our platform. So we can continue. So the sharing will be done, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, exactly. So the next form of permanent establishment that can be formed is agency PE. Agency PE gets formed wherein the individual habitually enters into contract on behalf of the parent entity. Now, if I am in India and I am entering into contract with some Indian on behalf of a German company, I may be forming agency PE for them. But there is a caveat to that, and we'll see it. So the question may also arise whether the activities of individual temporarily working from home for a non-resident employer could give rise to a dependent agent PE. So dependent agent PE is which is exclusively working for the parent company, and it will be important to evaluate whether the employee perform these activities on habitual way in the habitual way. Now, if because of COVID-19 he has entered into few of the contracts on behalf of the parent company because the parent company could not do it, now that particular instance will not invoke the agency PE. And however, a different approach may also be appropriate if the employee had been habitually concluding contracts on behalf of an enterprise in his name already before the COVID-19 crisis. In that case, it can be constituted as the agency PE. Another important PE that forms is construction-based PE. Construction-based PE, that there is some construction site which is going on, and it is temporarily. So we have, for example, we are working with this Hungarian company, which is helping the embassy, which is helping to renovate the embassy of Hungary in India. Now, how they are in India, and their work was to, so how does construction PE gets formed? Again, to bring the context again, if that Hungarian company makes the PE in India, then whatever profit it is deriving from India gets taxable in India. So no company would like that it should make a PE in another country. Now, because, so construction PE, how does it work? Article 5 of usually all the DTAAs, that is double taxation avoidance agreements, talk about construction PE. That if you are in another site, if you are in another country building something and you are working on construction site, and that construction site continues for 12 months, usually in case of OECD based DTAAs, and 6 months in case of UN based models. In that case, it will be constituted as construction site. Now, my question to you, now again, because of this COVID-19, like my client, who is in Hungarian company helping the embassy, renovation of embassy. Now what happens that otherwise their work was getting completed in, and as per Hungarian and India DTAA, the construction PE gets formed in 9 months. Now, because of this COVID-19, otherwise it was getting the work was getting completed in 7 months. They were not making construction PE, but because of this COVID-19, they have to delay their work by 3 months, and their work is now 10 months. So again, will that company make construction PE in India because of this particular situation arising because of COVID-19? So the answer that comes in mind that it should not, because this is a circumstantial situation which is not in hands of anyone. However, what the OECD commentary says, it says, and in all the treaties, it is usually the treaty does not deduct the intermittent period which is there in this which is there. So it appears that many activities on construction PE, do we have to stop?
Yeah, I think we'll end this session. People will have to log in onto the session using the same login ID and password.
Okay.
So I'm going to terminate this session. We're going to be back on our second session with more on international transactions using the same login ID, password, and link if you have. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.